All I talk is crack, I can get the brick out. Yeah, it's crazy reminiscing every decision I made. Yeah, I was fucked up. I put in the work and never no nigga can ever just say that I looked up.
Be real. FBI agent that go undercover as a detective to infiltrate a music industry to take down the industry. Fam, appreciate y'all. I need that bag. Movie coming soon. Officer Francois, played by me.
1504 to radio, 34 to Officer Francois. Copy, you need a 4 for an officer. Confirm. Advisors going on with the officer. Condition of the officer, please. That's the condition of the officer. 04 to radio, Officer Francois got sprayed. Starting before right here. Appreciate praise. 2596 radio. Go ahead. Show me 26 at 6 and you staff me a full here for Officer Francois. Control at 6 and G, 190 Marietta. Appreciate. What's the condition of Officer Francois? Good, I just need a full.
Welcome to your movie, Officer Francois, starring Officer Francois. Okay, for those who don't know, the YNW Melly case is now in trial. We won't be going over the YNW Melly case, but for those who want to know about the YNW Melly case, they can go to The God Diners on YouTube. He's been reading all of the paperwork and going through it thoroughly, so that's who I'll go check out. Now, for those who's been with me since the beginning, you all know that I've covered 100K Track thoroughly from his involvement in the King Von incident. Now, as I was watching the YNW Melly case get broken down by Go Diners, Mr. Track happened to pop up in the paperwork once again. Now, we all know what Mr. Track has been through in the past, the name change, the Officer Francois, the turning over of Melly's phone, and the list goes on. But now the list goes on a little further, because Track's name's all through this testimony. And the testimony I speak of is rest in peace, YNW Sack Chaser, his mother. We're going to put her deposition on the screen. I'm not going to read it all. I'm going to pick some parts out. I'm going to read those. We're going to dissect them, and then we're going to go over it like we normally do. All right, let's get to that now. Okay, we're going to start at number 12. All of the family comes together, and I believe it had to be Friday sometime. I don't know when it was. Again, I don't remember the date, but they came to my mom's house. That was YNW Sack Chaser. Mom speaking. Okay, number 17. Question. When you say they, who do you mean? Answer. She replies, the manager, a bodyguard, and Jamie. It may have been somebody else. I don't know. But I do remember them too because they introduced themselves to me. And I see this big old man standing around. I'm like, what was that for? But okay. Okay, so far, for those who don't know, Jamie would be YNW Melly's mother. The manager would be who we all know to be Track. Now, what she's testifying to at this point in time is basically right after what happened to her son, Jamie, which is Melly's mom, Track, and they brought a bodyguard over there to her house, I guess, to console her. So that's where we are right now. So we're going to go ahead and move on, and then we're going to pick up from there. All right, let's get to that. So I do remember Jamie because she consoled me. And I do remember the manager because he jumped in excitement to see me. He's like, oh my God, Juvie's mom. Okay, as you can see right off the rip, 100K Track doesn't even know whose mother this is. I mean, why would he say Juvie's mom? Oh, why would she say that he said, oh, Juvie's mom, when we clearly know that this is YNW Sack Chaser's mom's deposition? So, I mean, this is the thing that I'm saying about this guy. It's like, yes, you're the manager and everything, but sir, it's almost like you never know anything. I mean, it's a lot of similarities from this, just one point right here that was in King Von's case, where you didn't go to the funeral. It was et cetera, et cetera. It's just things like this is what makes people question the type of individual that you portray to be, Mr. Track. I just needed to stop it there because I just couldn't believe that. Like, you don't even know this man, whose mother this is. And she's grieving at this time. So let's also take that into consideration. I mean, this is the type of individual that we're dealing with. Okay, let's move on. I remember those two persons at that time. It was probably the greatest feeling after losing my son because they were so close to him. So I'm receiving that, gesture from them, thinking, it's genuine. So I do remember those two. I don't remember about anybody else. Question, and when would this have been? I know you don't have a specific recollection, but it would have been the next day, the day after, within a week? Answer, yeah, my son definitely got buried the week later. So within that week, we met them. They told us that they would pay for the funeral. They made exchanges with the bank. I mean, it's like 3-4 exchanges throughout that before that week ended. Before my sons, they came in and they were like, yes, we're going to pay for the funeral. We're sorry this happened. Okay, at this point, it seems like Track and YNW Melly's mother is doing exactly what they're supposed to do. But let me remind you of something. Remember, Track is the individual that picked up the weapon, which is in black and white also, and from the murder scene. So, mind you, he already knows what actually happened, allegedly, right? So it takes a special kind of slime ball nigga to go straight to the mother like this and console her. It seems to me as if he's trying to keep a close eye on her, I would say. If you read a little bit more of the testimony, you'll kind of understand where I'm coming from. I'm just breezing through it right now. Okay, let's get to the next part. 15. Did you have any conversations with Track, the manager? Answer, yeah. He definitely showed himself friendly as well. Question, and? Answer. And everything he said everything he said in that week, in that time, he said, I'm going to take care of the funeral. And he said, he gave my ex-husband something. I don't know because, like I said, I pulled away from everything. Then he said, give me your bank account. I'm going to put money in the bank account. And he did that. I had to text him a few times to discuss that. I believe he was speaking with my daughters about the t-shirts because there were some requests that they be made. We wanted t-shirts and the money for, they said, whatever you guys want. 16. After that, I did a FaceTime with Melly and Track and Cortland around Thanksgiving. And Jamie, like I said, she had been in and out, showing herself friendly because they kind of were like, let her deal with me, I guess. Maybe because she was another woman too. Like I wanted to deal with the man when it came down to the finances or whatever. This went on for about a month and a half. And then I started dealing with Track about the car because Melly was supposed to be changing the car around. Okay, like I said, I would be bouncing around in this a little bit because I'm kind of focused on Track. But what you guys didn't know was earlier in the testimony that Melly, his mom, and Track bought YNW Sack Chaser, his mom, a car. Now, from an outsider looking in, it would look like everybody is doing a great deed, right? But when you put it in perspective and you think about the whole situation, it's really messed up how they doing YNW Sack Chaser, mother like this, allegedly, if this is true. But I believe it's true because she's up on the stand and this is her testimony. This woman has no reason to lie. She lost a son in this situation, and all she wants is justice for her son, which she does deserve. Now, Track, on the other hand, Track has all of these situations tied up into this case. Again, we went over this millions of times. Just go back to, and you can go back to the videos and check them out. Explain to me, how is it that this man is still walking the streets, continuously growing in the industry, getting more money, signing more artists, when he has so many situations tied into this case? That's the part that I don't understand. I'm trying to figure out, when do you go to court? Now, I did hear Track on a interview stating that everybody that's involved in the case will have to get on the stand. So once we get that paperwork, or once his turn comes, then we're going to definitely break that down. But for now, we're just starting off with this situation right here. We're going to revisit this situation. This is just part of YNW Sack Chaser, your mother's deposition. But we're going to continue to go through it. This will be part 1. Again, I'm just painting a picture of an individual that is skating through life. I don't understand it. I know that if I was in any of these situations, it'd be no possible way I'd be walking on the streets. I'll tell you that. So that's what piques my interest again with 100K Track. How do you continue to just grow and win and skate? And this is not a hate thing. It's just a situation where normally when you see somebody in black and white, as much as you see 100K Track in black and white, and especially with the charges or the accusations that they have on there, you gotta look at yourself or look at him and say what's going on, or look at the system or whatever it is that you want to look at. You got to figure it out, because I can't figure it out. But we got our eyes on him. We're gonna keep checking him out. So this is part 1. Part 2 will be coming soon. Until next time.
All I talk is crack, I can get the brick out. Yeah, it's crazy reminiscing every decision I made. Yeah, I was fucked up. I put in the work and never no nigga can ever just say that I looked up.